Hi, I'm Dia and you guys are watching Dia No Sir. Today I'm going to talk about the good in the series that I'm doing, the good, the mid and the ugly. And as the name suggests, the good means the books I really enjoyed in the month of October. So let's get on with it. The first book that I read that I really liked was The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry. I gave the book 4.5 stars. So this book is about two girls who are friends and it's set in the 80s. So uh, last year one of the girls' father was found dead in the forest that is uh, close to their home that surrounds the town, and he was found without his heart, like his heart was tore out. And this year they find two more girls who have been like eviscerated, like completely done with in the woods. So this is a story about what is haunting in the woods, and it is also a story about like growing up as a girl, and friendship, and how friendship changes as you change as a person, as your friend changes as a person. So uh, I really like the themes that were tackled in this book, the themes of grief, the themes of growing up, the themes of losing your best friend, like how, I mean, it's no one's fault that two people who grew up together had so many similar interests are now kind of growing apart. So one girl is, she is still wanting to hold on to their childhood, and the other girl, she is growing up, she is into boys, into makeup, the usual stuff. So I like the themes that were explored in the book, and the horror aspect, it was not scary, but it had me, I was anxious the entire time that something bad is gonna happen to the main characters and all that, and the payoff at the end, it was really good. So The Ghost Tree by Christina Henry, 4.5 stars. The next book that I gave 4.5 stars was To Nettle and Bone. So Nettle and Bone, it's this, how do you call it? It's not a fairy tale retelling, but it reads like a fairy tale, like as if it's a modern take on a fairy tale. And so it's about this girl who has, like, she is a princess, but she has to, like, for some reason she had to become a nun, and after becoming a nun she finds out that her sister is being mistreated by her husband, who happens to be the prince of this really powerful empire, kingdom, not empire, kingdom. So she like goes on this journey to save her sister and not like bring forth war or anything like that by upsetting the prince of this powerful kingdom. So what she does, who she meets, the characters and everything, so it forms the basic structure of the story. I really liked the story. So at first I gave the book 4 stars because I thought that I'm not gonna it's not gonna have that much of an impact on me, but it stayed with me, the story, because the themes of like the way the character was portrayed. So first of all, it's a very short book, and the characterization in that book, it was top notch. Like the character was so fleshed out in those 200 something pages, and you just feel for the character so badly, because she is this really nice person who's just trying to get by in this cruel world, and the things she has to see, the things she has to go through, like it's heartbreaking at times. So I really like the character, I really like the themes of like sisterhood, or being okay with yourself, like being okay with the way you are, not having to like conform to society's norms and everything. So I liked all these things. These stayed with me, and on top of that, it's a very very charming story, and the humor in it was like chef's kiss. So I gave Nettle and Bone 4.5 stars. The next book I'm gonna talk about is The Winter King by Bernard Cornwell. Okay, so the other book, The Nettle and Bone, that was by T. Kingfisher. So let's talk about Winter King. So Winter King is basically a historical fiction retelling of King Arthur's, what do you call it, story, folktale, myth. I don't know what the actual term is, but basically King Arthur, portrayed as this warlord in the post antiquity Britain, like post Rome Britain. And it is, the story is kind of like this frame device where this person is writing down the story as he experienced it, like his account of meeting Arthur and being a soldier in Arthur's army, and like telling the story of Arthur from this character's point of view. So the writing was amazing. Like the end of part 1, so okay, the beginning was a little bit difficult for me to get into, because there are so many names and it's a bit dry and you don't know where the story is going. Arthur is not present, you don't know what's gonna happen. You are like, why do I care about these random ass people? So end of part 1, oh my god, like things changed and I was amazed. I was like fist pumping, like yeah. So um it takes a while to for you to get into the book, but once you get into it, get into the flow of the book. The writing is superb, the characters are amazing. You feel for, like there are good characters, there are bad characters, there are like unspeakably abhorrent characters. Like I don't know, is that something, is that phrase, does that phrase work? Unspeakably abhorrent character, I don't know. Anyway, let's roll with it. So you have the good, the bad, and the ugly in the characters. So the good characters, you feel for them. The bad characters, you despise them. And the ugly characters, you just want them to die, but no, it's not gonna happen. Like they are not gonna die. Like if you have read the book, you know which character I'm talking about. And I want to read the sequels to know what happens to that character, like whether they die a painful death or not. So anyway, okay, I got a bit carried away. I do get a bit carried away while talking about books that I feel strongly about. So that was The Winter King. I gave that book 4.5 stars. So 3.5. People will kill me if I say I gave the book 3.5 stars, especially like people I read the book with. Anyway, so the next book I want to talk about is Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. I think that's the name. I gave the book 4.5 stars. So you can see like almost all of these books got 4.5 stars from me. So this is a thriller with a little bit of a sci-fi aspect. So this woman, she sees that on the night of Halloween, on the eve of Halloween, I think, the day before Halloween, the night before Halloween, what am I talking about? Anyway, she sees that her son commits murder, and after that, what happens? She keeps, waking up a day before the incident happened. So first time she wakes up a day before the incident happens, so day -1. Then she wakes up 2 days before the incident happens, so day -2. Then 5 days before, then 30 days before. So she keeps going back in time, and she has to sort of solve this murder, like solve the issue of why this murder took place in the first place. So it was very well done, this narrative structure, this device that was used of going back into the past. It was very unique and very well executed in my opinion. Like the book, like if it were told in one straight narrative, it wouldn't have made that much of an impact. But the way it was told and the way the characters were portrayed, so okay, in mystery thrillers, I'm not usually into the characters. Like I'm not usually into the character work. I'm all about what's gonna happen, who's gonna die next, and all that. but in this one the characters, they like, okay, sorry, the mic is here, I kind of punched the mic, so if there's a weird sound, you know why it's there. So it kind of like hits you close when things go wrong, and you see that people are drifting apart or something like that. Wait, what am I talking about? Why? I think I'm zoning out. When I zone out, I start talking nonsense. So editing me, you need to do your job here. Anyway, so book great, do read it. So yeah, wrong place, wrong time, 4.5 stars. Next, I want to talk about my 5 stars of the month. So I had two 5 stars. So the first one is The Corset by Laura Purcell, and like, before The Corset I had read another book by her, The Silent Companions, a few years ago, and I really enjoyed that book, and I was like, this was one of my most anticipated reads of the month. And at first I was not into it, like, to be honest, I was like not feeling, I was just not feeling the book. It was kind of like Oliver Twist with horror elements, which, I mean, it might sound appealing to you, but it doesn't sound appealing to me. So I mean, everything that can go wrong in the main character's life, it goes wrong, and we are like going along with her in her journey of like despair and despond. Anyway, what am I talking about? In her sad journey, let's use simple words, okay, let's not go there. Anyway, but after the first third of the book, I had to put it down for a while, and when I came back to it, oh my god, I don't know what happened, like my brain, something clicked into place or something, and I started enjoying the book. Like, I really started enjoying the book, and I couldn't put it down. I read it in one day. It was not the entire book, it was only the 2/3 of the book, but I read it in one day, and oh my god, that ending, it was so shocking. Like, I didn't see that coming. I genuinely, like, in thrillers what happens, I can predict, because I have read so many. So there can only be so many ways that people can kill people, or thrills can be generated. So this book, it took me by surprise by how well final cup the final reveal was done, and the way the things like came together, and it was really good, and it's gonna stay with me for a long time. It's a difficult read. Like, there are the themes that are explored in this one. There are certain scenes that are not like, it's not like cosmic horror or any kind of paranormal horror or supernatural something, but the day-to-day life, the horror of day-to-day life that is shown here. Okay, it's set in the Victorian era, and it talks about this one girl who has committed murder. Oh god. Who has committed murder, and this other girl who is kind of like this rich girl who is into charity and all that, and she is into phrenology, and she wants to like do something, change the world with her findings and all that. She goes and starts talking to this prisoner, and the prisoner tells her story of how she came to like murder this person. That's basically it. So okay, why did I start talking? Okay, so it's about societal horrors, like what society like inflicts upon people who are not, who don't have the means, who are not well off or something like that. How their prejudices, how their like judgmental mentality, it harms other people in very real ways. So that's The Corset. I gave the book 5 stars. It's one of my like top reads of the year. And speaking about top reads of the year, if you know, I don't think I've talked about this series on my channel before. So here I'm gonna talk about it for the first time, and oh my god, I'm gonna gush. So it is Wrath, the fourth and final book in the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. And I gave it 5 freaking stars. Like, come on, like, it's a no brainer. So, I don't know how to speak about the fourth book in the series without spoiling anything. So, it's basically, a war of a conflict between good versus evil. And there's this prophecy which talks about the, what do you call them, avatar, yeah, the avatar of the god, the good god, and the avatar of the evil god. So they are supposed to come, and there's supposed to be one huge battle that's gonna determine the fate of the world as they know it. So you are following a few characters in the first book, and from there things go on. Like, there's political intrigue, there's battle scenes, there's like badass people doing badass stuff. So the last book, so all I can say about the last book is that it tied things up very well. Like, the things that the way they concluded, it was like very satisfactory. Like, I really liked them. The emotional parts, it hit hard, you guys, it hit hard. And I mean, the character work was great, and it made me cry a lot. So I don't think I can talk more about this book without spoiling certain things. So let's keep it here. So, Faithful and the Fallen, I've completed the series. I started the series this year itself, and I'm kind of proud of myself for finishing this series this year itself, like wrapping it up in 1 year. So yay me. uh, I would highly suggest that you guys go and check out the series if you guys haven't. And if you guys are into something that is action packed, something that is easy to get through, and something that will like with amazing characters and all that. The writing is not the best because it's John Gwynne's like debut series, so the writing is a bit rough around the edges. But I didn't mind. Like, it's not something that will like distract you from whatever. Like, it's not gonna distract you. It's serviceable kind of a writing. Anyway, so that's my wrap up. So it wraps up the entire month in this video, and that's my sister. Like, if there's no ma from my sister, then it's not a video worth watching. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.